Hello, all my fairy friends. My name is Fairy Belle, and I'm a book fairy. And today, we're going to be reading a story called A Gift of Kindness by Sarah, Duchess of York. Mary fizzled with excitement. Jack couldn't keep still. Daddy was taking them to the Winter Wonderland in Hyde Park. There would be so much to see and do. The children hadn't been there long when they came upon an old man alone, but for a small dog. With a happy yap, the dog rushed over to greet them, then ran off as if to say, "Chase me." Daddy smiled as he watched the children lead the dog back to the old man. "What's his name?" they asked. The old man smiled. "Snowball. He loves making friends. It's very kind of you to bring him back to me. Many people are too busy to be kind these days. Would you like a chestnut?" "Yes, please," said Mary and Jack. "Thank you." The minute they each took a chestnut from the old man's bag, something amazing happened. Suddenly, the air was filled with the delicious scent of cinnamon and apple tart and gingerbread, and that wasn't all. Everyone was dressed in old-fashioned clothes, and the fair was like no other they had ever visited. "Ooh," breathed Mary in wonder. "Wow," said Jack. "We've stepped back into Victorian times." The old man nodded. "Indeed you have," he said. "Shall we explore?" Snowball ran ahead, darting off along the cobblestones. "He wants to play," laughed the children, and they joined his game. They found Snowball sitting on the steps of a broken-down house where a grumpy lady was shouting at him to go away. "Go and eat your cold porridge and scrub all the floors," she screamed at the thin, ragged children who had gathered in the doorway to see what was happening. "It's a poorhouse for orphans," whispered Jack. "Yes," said Mary, "and that lady is being so mean." Snowball wagged his tail. The little bell on his collar jingled. Jack and Mary looked at each other. What if? Mary smiled and held out her hand to the grumpy lady. "Come to the fair with us," she said. "We're sure it will make you feel better." "Why should I?" snapped the lady. "There's work to be done." But as their hands touched, she forgot her excuses and went with them to meet the old man at the gingerbread stall. As the grumpy lady looked around her at all the smiling faces and heard the laughter, something happened. The air was chill and snowflakes began to fall, but she felt a warm glow inside her for the first time ever. The grumpy lady had never realized a little kindness could make her so happy. Back at the orphanage, she hugged all the children. "Tomorrow we shall all go to the fair," she said, and promised them, "From this day on, we will make your home a place of smiles and happiness." The children's hearts filled with joy. Their simple act of kindness had changed the lives of everyone who had lived in the orphanage. Snowball's little bell jingled and the old man tapped his cane. Mary and Jack saw their father coming to collect them. They bent and said goodbye to Snowball and thanked the old man for giving them such a wonderful experience. He winked and said, "Come back again and let's see what kindness will take us next." As the children turned to leave, the sun shone on the old man's silver hair and long beard. It glinted on his walking stick. Jack blinked and nudged Mary. "You know," he whispered, "for a moment I thought he looked just like Father Christmas." And that's the end of the story. Did you like that story? I know Roger did. He was listening outside my window. Could you hear him crowing? There he is again. Do you think you might be able to do something kind for somebody today? I think that would be very special. Thank you very much for listening to my story, and thank you very much for believing in me. And never forget that I believe in you too.